will first need to roll out a slab of clay. Make sure that it's not too thin or too thick. If you use the boards on the side, it will help it from being too thin, and it will also make it really even. Next, you will need to draw the shape of the bottom of the pot. This will be your base. The base determines the shape of the entire pot. I usually draw it on with the needle first and then carve it in later. Next, you will roll out a coil of clay. A coil is like a big long snake of clay. You want to make sure it's not too thick or not too thin. Another thing you want to make sure is that it's round and not flat on one side. Next, you're going to add your coil on top of your base. You're going to score it first, like I'm doing now. Then you're going to score your piece that you're going to attach. You're also going to add some slip, which is watery clay. And then you're going to stick it down and smooth it out so you can no longer see the seam. You're going to smooth it out on the inside so that you can still see the coil detail on the outside. You can see that I added my coil on top of my base. I smoothed it out on the outside and the inside to know that it's secure on top of the base. This will be a good structure for the rest of the coils to go on top. I continued to add smooth coils on top and slowly working outward, so that means I put the coil slightly on the outside edge each time I add a coil. You can add different coils that are interesting and fun. So far I've done simple ones, but you'll see later that I do more interesting ones in a minute. You will need to have at least 3 different kinds of coils on your coil pot. Here is one that I have rolled up into kind of like a snake type shape, like a zigzag. You can look up different ideas online. I highly encourage you to do that, but you need to have at least 3. The smooth coils that I've added already does count as 1. You can use any tool that you like to blend the inside. I like to use a wooden spoon. You can use a popsicle stick or just your fingers. It's up to you. Just make sure you're blending the inside so you still have that detail on the outside showing of your different coils. My next set of coils are spirals. I'm going to slowly work those in so my pot works inward and has a curve going in so I can have like a neck. So I'm going to score and slightly add those on the inside of the coil I just added. Please make sure you add your scoring and you slip and you stick it on really good and smooth it out. Otherwise you can pick it up and it's all going to fall apart and be a really sad day. Right now I have 3 different kinds of coils visible. I have a smooth, zigzag, and spiral. You can add different kinds from here on. You can continue the same kinds you've already had, or you can just continue to do the straight and smooth. It's up to you, but you have to have at least 3. So I'm not finished, but for the sake of the video, this is the last part you're going to see. However, you can see I'm slowly working in. It kind of looks like a bowl. My whole goal here is to be more of like a vase, and so I'm going to work inward to make kind of a skinny neck and have a lip at the top. So you will have some requirements for your coil pot. You need to have at least 3 different kinds of coils. I've already talked about that previously, but you do need to have 3, but you can have more. Your coil pot must be at least 6 inches tall or 6 inches wide. You get to choose, and yes, it can be bigger. And your coil pot must have at least 1 change in direction. So it either needs to curve in once, curve out, slant in or out. It can do it 2 times, it doesn't matter, but it's up to you. And then lastly, just be creative and don't limit yourself, don't copy things online, and just have fun.